Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. I'm your host, Jenny. Today, we have some poignant news as we bid farewell to the beloved Hong Kong actor Ha Chun Chau, known as the father of Mark VI. His passing at the age of 93 has left fans and fellow actors mourning the loss of a true legend who graced our screens for decades. In business news, Hong Kong's stock market is experiencing some ups and downs. Despite a slight dip, global banks like Citigroup and Goldman Sachs are keeping their spirits high, showing optimism towards Chinese equities. Investors are navigating through the waves of trade tensions, but there's still hope for a rebound in the market. Lastly, cities around the world are facing the dual challenges of flooding and drought due to climate change. Innovative solutions are popping up, like flood-resistant infrastructure in Karachi and solar-powered water systems in Zambia. It's a critical time for communities to come together and tackle these pressing issues. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. SCMP opinion: the passing of Ha Chun Chau, a beloved figure in Hong Kong's entertainment industry, marks the end of an era. Known as Kennething Kamsun, he captivated audiences for decades, primarily through his roles as a supporting actor and as the first host of the Mark VI lottery, earning him the affectionate title Father of Mark VI. His daughter, actress Sandra Ng, shared the heartbreaking news of his death at 93, prompting an outpouring of condolences from fans and fellow actors alike. Ha's career began in the 1950s, and he became a household name with his lively hosting style, which he maintained for 17 years. His legacy includes memorable performances in films alongside stars like Jackie Chan, and a touching moment shared with his daughter in the 2009 film All's Well Ends Well. South China Morning Post: in the financial realm, Hong Kong's stock market displayed volatility, oscillating between gains and losses amid global economic uncertainties. While the Hang Seng Index showed slight declines, major global banks like Citigroup and Goldman Sachs maintained a bullish outlook on Chinese equities, citing attractive valuations. Despite a recent downturn attributed to heightened trade tensions and recession fears, certain sectors, particularly Chinese car manufacturers, exhibited resilience. Investors, weary of the turbulent U.S. market, are increasingly drawn to Chinese stocks, reflecting a broader trend of shifting interests in the face of economic challenges. The mixed performance of major Asia-Pacific markets further underscores the complex landscape investors navigate today. Deutsche Welle: as climate change intensifies, cities worldwide are grappling with the dual challenges of floods and droughts, forcing communities to adapt rapidly. Research highlights that urban areas, which house over half of the global population, are particularly vulnerable to water-related disasters. Innovative solutions are emerging, such as the work of Yasmin Lari in Karachi, who transforms streets into flood-resistant infrastructures using terracotta. Her efforts have already proven effective during catastrophic floods, showcasing the potential of local materials. Meanwhile, Zambia faces severe droughts that disrupt water access, prompting initiatives like solar-powered water pumping to ensure communities can maintain a clean water supply. Experts emphasize the need for targeted investments and community involvement to build resilience against these climate crises, underscoring that collaborative efforts can lead to meaningful change. South China Morning Post reports on Deliveroo's decision to exit the Hong Kong market, a move that underscores the volatility within the food delivery industry. After 4 years of operation, Deliveroo announced it would cease its services on April 7, largely due to fierce competition from Kita, a platform that captured a substantial market share with enticing perks. The company cited significant financial losses and a negative impact on international growth as reasons for its departure, highlighting the challenges faced by food delivery services in Hong Kong. With Kita's rise and Foodpanda's existing presence, the market landscape has shifted, raising concerns about potential fee increases for consumers and restaurants alike. South China Morning Post also covers the return of swimmer Sun Yang to competitive swimming, as he prepares to participate in the Chinese Spring National Championships. After a controversial 4-year doping ban, Sun aims to qualify for the national games scheduled for later this year. His recent training has been intense, and he has expressed gratitude for the support from his team. Sun's previous achievements, including being the first Chinese swimmer to win Olympic gold across all freestyle distances, add to the anticipation surrounding his comeback. His performance at the championships will be crucial, as he seeks to reclaim his place in the competitive swimming arena. Nikkei Asia highlights the trend of converting hotels into student housing in Hong Kong amidst a struggling property market. With a notable increase in commercial property vacancies and a declining market, investors like Covey's IP are pivoting to create stable income sources by transforming hotels into dormitories. This strategy aligns with the government's push to accommodate a growing number of non-local students, particularly from mainland China. Despite the challenges posed by the current economic climate, including non-performing loans and cautious lending practices, the demand for student housing remains strong, prompting investors to explore this relatively stable business model. However, the overall market remains cautious, with limited successful conversions to date, indicating that while opportunities exist, they may be constrained by various market realities. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong's public hospitals and clinics are considering an increase in the heavily subsidized 15 Hong Kong dollars prescription fee, which currently covers a 16-week supply of medication. Dr. Simon Tang Yu-hang, the director of cluster services at the Hospital Authority, emphasized that the goal is not to cut costs but to enhance resources for patients with cancer and rare diseases who require expensive drugs. The current subsidy covers 92% of drug costs, but rising expenses due to an aging population and new drug procurement have prompted the review. Advocates for patient rights suggest that any increase should be capped at 10%, ensuring that chronically ill and underprivileged patients can still afford their medications. The Hospital Authority is also exploring options to optimize drug resources and reduce wastage, with new measures set to be phased in, including limits on prescription durations to encourage better resource management. South China Morning Post highlights that global investment banks are optimistic about the potential of Chinese stocks to continue their impressive rally, driven by advancements in artificial intelligence, AI, technology. Foreign investors are gradually increasing their holdings in Chinese equities, suggesting that a re-rating of these stocks could lead to significant capital inflows. Despite a recent dip in Hong Kong stocks amid geopolitical tensions and concerns over U.S. trade policies, the overall sentiment remains positive, with analysts noting that a shift in investment strategies could further bolster the market. As global funds reassess their positions, there is a notable interest in Chinese stocks, particularly in the wake of a strong start to the year for the MSCI China Index. The report indicates that a modest increase in global mutual funds allocation to Chinese equities could translate into billions of dollars in net buying, reinforcing the belief that the current rally has substantial staying power. South China Morning Post reflects on the cultural impact of TVB's Superstar specials, which debuted 50 years ago, marking a significant shift in Hong Kong's television landscape. The series showcased A-list movie stars in standalone episodes, blending cinematic techniques with television storytelling. Directed by Lu Fanggang, the show was revolutionary for its time, employing outdoor filming and innovative camera work that elevated the medium's artistic credibility. Episodes such as Treasure Hunt and The Cheating Wife highlighted sophisticated storytelling and character development, paving the way for future crossovers between film and television. The success of Superstar specials not only legitimized television as an art form but also led to a wave of creativity in Hong Kong's entertainment industry, with many directors and actors from the series contributing to the emergence of the Hong Kong new wave in cinema. South China Morning Post reports on Nicole Wallace, a prominent TV anchor and former White House aide, who faced significant backlash for her comments regarding President Donald Trump's tribute to a young cancer survivor during a congressional address. The emotional moment highlighted 13-year-old Devarjay DJ Daniel, who was honored for his courageous battle with cancer and made an honorary Secret Service agent. However, Wallace's remarks on MSNBC, where she connected DJ's potential future as a law enforcement officer to the tragic events of January 6, drew ire from social media users, prompting calls for her dismissal. Wallace's background includes co-hosting The View and working as a communications director for President George W. Bush, and she has authored best-selling novels. Her personal life includes 2 marriages and 2 children. South China Morning Post also discusses President Trump's newfound enthusiasm for cryptocurrencies, a stark contrast to his earlier dismissal of them during his first term. As part of his 2024 presidential campaign, Trump hosted a summit focused on digital assets, declaring his ambition for the U.S. to become the crypto capital of the world. This shift aligns with the growing significance of cryptocurrencies in the global market, as Trump aims to counter China's influence in this sector. Experts emphasize that positioning the U.S. as a leader in crypto could reinforce the dollar's dominance and attract international investments. Trump's past skepticism about cryptocurrencies has transformed into a strategic move to ensure the U.S. remains at the forefront of technological and economic innovation. South China Morning Post also covers the recent departure of Anthony Rico, a lawyer from Sean Diddy Cohn's defense team in a high-profile sex trafficking case. Rico, who has a storied legal career including representing Osama bin Laden, filed to withdraw from the case, citing his inability to effectively serve as counsel without providing further details. Combs, who has pleaded not guilty, continues to be represented by 5 other attorneys as the trial approaches. Rico's background includes significant experience in high-stakes legal battles and a passion for advocating for Black History Month, where he highlights influential figures in the judiciary. Despite his exit, Cohn's legal team remains intact, ensuring that the trial will proceed as scheduled. South China Morning Post reports that the United States has agreed to resume military and intelligence support for Ukraine following a pivotal meeting in Saudi Arabia, where Ukrainian officials, led by President Volodymyr Zelensky's chief of staff, Andriy Yermak, proposed a 30-day ceasefire. This agreement marks a significant shift in Washington's approach amidst ongoing efforts to facilitate peace talks with Russia. The U.S. plans to convey the ceasefire terms to Moscow, emphasizing that Russian cooperation is crucial for achieving lasting peace. The backdrop of the negotiations includes strained relations between Kyiv and Washington, exacerbated by a heated exchange between Zelensky and U.S. President Donald Trump earlier this year, which had led to a suspension of U.S. military aid. As the talks unfolded, the U.S. reiterated the need for both sides to recognize that there is no military solution to the conflict. The Sydney Morning Herald highlights the turmoil on Wall Street following President Trump's announcement to raise tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, leading to a significant drop in stock prices. The S&P 500 index fell sharply, hovering near a correction mark, while the Dow Jones and Nasdaq also experienced notable declines. Investors are increasingly anxious about the implications of Trump's trade policies, which could potentially stifle economic growth by raising consumer prices and creating uncertainty in the market. Major corporations like Delta Air Lines have reported shifts in consumer confidence affecting their revenue forecasts, while some tech stocks have shown resilience amidst the chaos. The ongoing volatility reflects broader concerns about the U.S. economy's stability in light of Trump's unpredictable tariff strategies. In another story from the Sydney Morning Herald, Newcastle Knights are making headlines for signing an untested rugby league talent, Marcus Dacre, on a modest train-and trial contract, contrasting sharply with the league's richest deals. Dacre, who recently won the NRL Combine, is excited about the opportunity to develop his skills with the Knights, a club with a rich history and a commitment to nurturing talent. Having previously represented Canada and Hong Kong in rugby union, Dacre is eager to transition into league, acknowledging the journey ahead will take time and dedication. His humble beginnings and determination to grow as a player reflect the potential for success in the sport, as he prepares to learn the intricacies of rugby league while pursuing his studies. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the Citigroup team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of Citigroup Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the Citigroup team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize Citigroup Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, citigroubrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive Citigroup Brief via email.
Got a question in your mind, we'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything, laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too, we've got the A to Z for you. Got a question in your mind, we'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything, laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too.